Hey everybody, it's your boy Pee Wee back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the manhwa, the eldest daughter of the Tang clan of Sacheon protects the family. Um, this is a new manhwa that came out recently. The reason why it caught my eye was simply because the Tang clan. I like a lot of martial arts stories. I don't know why. It's just I find the martial arts to be, at least martial art comics to be entertaining. But I really especially like when it comes to the Tang Clan because I like seeing all the different ways an author can come up with how using making their characters use like poison and stuff. Whether they go like the medical route, whether they go the assassination route, whether they go simply just poison making, alchemist type route. It's always interesting to see um, which route they'll take. With this one though, we get the sense of she basically is going to use her knowledge of the future, her knowledge of like poison and stuff to protect the family that she lost and wasn't able to protect in her first life. The comic starts out with our main character, who by the way is gorgeous. She is the eldest daughter of the Tang clan. Basically, it starts off with her at a banquet for the head of the Namgung family, who happens to be her husband. However, we find out that basically, he basically annihilated the Tang clan, leaving only her. He was smart. Um, you know, uh, but by the way, she is gorgeous. But basically, she we starts off in you know, basically assassinating her husband for basically she despised him because he always thought he was like superior, and he did a lot of bad things, like he killed a bunch of people, he wiped out her family, he wiped out a bunch of other families. And since she wasn't blessed with martial arts or didn't have really any allies, she basically slowly burned incense around him. Like for the past half year, incense was burned around him. And she did this for 6 months to basically the slightest bit of poison would trigger a reaction, causing him to die a severely painful and agonizing death. It's what she wanted. And then now, as he's dying, she decides to take her own life as well. Simply, saying like, let us meet in hell when the time comes. And so she ended her own life. And then she wakes up, in the past, in the Tang clan residence to like her brother here. I like the two different art styles. Like you have the, gorgeous, adult looking version, and then you get this like chibi version, which I really like. The whole chibi art, scenes are really cute. But she wakes up and basically starts off uh changing one of her regrets. Her younger brother, who's basically soft-hearted and affectionate, asked her to heal this bird. In her previous life, she said no, but she apparently regretted that moment for a very long time. And so in this time, she gets a second chance. She agrees to do it. She helps save the hawk, making her brother happy. And she says that, she wants to protect the things that she failed to protect in this life. She's at first, she's under this impression that this is just a dream, since she just, took her own life. She thinks she's bordering between life and death and that she's hallucinating all of this. But she decides, if only this were not a dream, but even if it is only a dream, she's decided that she's going to protect, her family and the ones she cared about, and all the ones that she failed to protect in her previous life in this one. And so, I'm excited to see where this goes. She was regarded as like the ultimate poison genius, master of 10,000 antidotes. I'm just, I'm curious to see where this goes, whether it goes in a route of familial bond, or whether it goes with the Tang clan becoming some like powerhouse in the martial arts world. If it, it's just her going around making amends to people she failed in her previous life, or just basically all the different ways this goes go. The genre is a fantasy, romance. So I assume there's gonna be a male lead somewhere. I don't know who yet. I've only read the first couple like the first chapter, really. Like, that's what I do with these first impression videos. I usually just read the first chapter, and whatnot. So, but I'm interested. My interest is piqued, not only because it's a female lead. She seems pretty badass. Right off the start, she assassinates her husband and then kills herself. I mean, it definitely reeled me in. So I am curious as to see where it goes, and I'm excited. She's a poison master. She knows all the poison. She's from the Tang clan, who's a clan that mastered poison. There's a saying that apparently you should never mess with someone in green. So, the Tang clan wears greens. So, but I am curious as to where this will go, whether she'll focus on her family and ignore everybody else, or, if she'll just do whatever she has to, regardless of what it is, to protect the one she cares about and the family that she failed to in her previous life. But that'll be it for this video. If you guys liked, leave a like, leave a sub. I hope to continue seeing you guys in the future, continue growing this channel, talking about comics I love, comics I find, comics that I enjoy, even if I don't enjoy them, if I think I'm bad or bad. I know I've only made like one or two videos about comics I didn't like. Um, but if you guys want to see, me talk about comics that I don't like, that's what you guys want, then I'll make some videos. But for now, that'll be it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.